Video battle reports, tactics and reviews, painting and hobby material, blog for the Blood God.
How you going, guys? Dean from Blog for the Blood God here. I've got my good mate Sean over with me today, and we're going to do a 4,000 point video battle report for you guys. So it's going to be Tau versus Khorne Daemonkin. And yeah, we're just going to jump in right now and show you guys the armies that we'll be using, and then we'll get into deployment and first turn. So we'll go through Khorne Daemonkin first. Alrighty, so here's the army that I'm going to be using. First, it's three detachments, sorry. So the first one's a combined arms detachment, which has got my Warlord, which is a Insensate Rage Bloodthirster. Second HQ is another Insensate Rage Bloodthirster. Then I've got two Fast Attack Helldrakes. I've got two Heavy Support Mauler Fiends. Two Troops Choices, which are Cultists for the mandatory troops. And then one Lord of War, which is the Lord of Skulls. Then I've also taken a Mayhem Pack, which is three Deep Striking Hellbrutes. And then another formation which I've never used before, which I'm really excited. It's one of the new ones from the Blood Oath campaign supplement, which is the Bloodied Horde, which is basically 8 squads of 8 Bloodletters. Where am I? 8 squads of 8 Bloodletters, 2 squads of 3 Blood Crushers, and 2 Skull Cannons. And the special rule for that formation is basically when any of the units in that formation die on a 4+, they just get put straight into ongoing reserves and can come back the next turn. So it's sort of a bit of a Demon Factory sort of list.
Jeez.
But yeah, so that's my 4,000 points of pure Khorne Daemonkin, and I'm going to hand the camera over to Sean now, and he'll go through his Tau list.
Alrighty guys, this is 4,000 points of Tau Empire and Farsad Enclaves. So we've got 2 combined arms detachments. I'm just going to go through the units one by one. So we've got 12 gun drones there, we've got Devilfish, we've got 4 squads of Fire Warriors fully maxed out, we've got a Fireblade with 2 gun drones, we've got an Ethereal with 1 gun drone. We've got along the back here, we've got Riptide, the heavy support variant Riptide, the fast attack variant Riptide, another Riptide. We've got 2 broadsides there, early warning override and velocity tracker. We've got another Riptide there, and then we've got the Hammerhead with long strike in it. Then we've got some stealth suits there with fusion blaster and homing beacon. We've got some pathfinders up the back there for some marker lights. Then we've got Commander number 1 with 4 marker drones and 2 shield drones. Commander number 2 with 4 marker drones. We've got a bunch of different suits here. Basically we've got twin plasma rifles on those guys there. We've got twin burst cannons on those there. We've got twin missile pods on those ones there. We've got fusion blaster and plasma rifle on that one there. And then we've got twin flamers and burst cannons on this squad here. So yeah, it's pretty good. Hopefully I can kill 2 Bloodthirsters in turn 1.
Alrighty guys, we've just finished setting up the table and placing our objective markers. So we rolled Tactical Escalation for our mission type, so that's the one where you start with one objective, a tactical objective, and you draw one each turn essentially. For terrain placement, we've sort of just gone for a sort of a symmetrical kind of thing with the bastions off to the corners, the big line of sight blocker in the centre.
Yeah, that's right.
We rolled Dawn of War for deployment, so it's one person will deploy along this long table edge and the other one will deploy along that long table edge. As for objective placement, we placed, there's one here, roughly central, then we've got another one over here, another one up the back there, another one almost in the centre of the table, then the 5th one over here, and then the final one up on top of that bastion there. And so for this game, we've got the bastions are fully functional, so units can enter them, fire the weapons, get up on the battlement, all that good shit. We've also got the Icarus, I think it's an Icarus las cannon, the Skyfire las cannon that can be manned and used at any time, so I imagine he'll probably put a unit on that to take out my Helldrakes if he gets the opportunity.
Yep.
We've also got the ammunition dump, which allows you to re-roll 1s in the shooting phase, which is going to be 0 use to me because I don't have any guns. And then we've got a comms relay, so if you hold that, you re-roll your reserves rolls. And then obviously your Aegis defense lines. As for the rest of the table, it's just all treated as open ground. No difficult terrain, no dangerous terrain. You know, it's just all, for simplicity's sake, we're just going to treat it all as open ground. Yeah, so that's all we need to know for that. So let's just jump straight into the roll-off to see who goes first and deploys first.
Suck it.
6, so that's Tau. So you want to go first, or do you want to go second?
First.
Alrighty, so we're going to jump straight into deployment. So Tau will deploy first, then Khorne Daemonkin will deploy, and then we'll roll for seize the initiative. So we'll be back with you guys in a minute.
Alright, here is deployment. I won the roll-off, so I've put down my shit first. Basically, I've just fucking run a huge line of everything along the back here. I guess the bit of interest is like 3 squads of the Fire Warriors, the drones, Pathfinders, Long Strike, and a few other bits and pieces are all in there. So like, I'm kind of like asking Dean, please charge me. I don't think he will. He will probably bitch out on that one.
Are you challenging me?
Yeah, I think you should charge that.
As a Khorne player, I refuse to not do that.
I know, it'd be rude not to if you were a Khorne player.
Challenge accepted.
Nice. Then you got a couple other Riptides here. So Markerlight's there, Markerlight's in the centre, and Markerlight's off to the left between those 2 Riptides. And basically all the Farside Enclave's troops are deep striking, so hopefully I can give it to him from behind when he comes in.
Alrighty, so that's the end of Khorne Daemonkin deployment. So based off my opponent's deployment, I sort of wanted to try and group all of my stuff together so that, you know, I'd deny some of his army the ability to do any damage. So I chucked a first squad of cultists up here just so that they were on that objective number 5, just in case I draw that objective marker early in the game. Then the rest of my stuff I chucked down on this side of the table. So I've got a squad of cultists at the back here holding that objective number 4, just in case I draw that. And then I've got 2 Bloodthirsters of Insensate Rage, a Lord of Skulls, and 2 Maulfiends all here, ready to sort of run up along here and then run down his line, hopefully. And then over in reserves, I've got the Bloodied Horde, which is all the Bloodletters, Blood Crushers, and Skull Cannons. And I've also got the Deep Striking Hellbrutes and the 2 Helldrakes. So they'll all come in reserves. Fingers crossed I can get them in nice and early, because if I don't, I'm going to be in serious trouble. But yeah, so let's roll off to seize the initiative, and let's see whether I can grab that first turn, or whether we're going to hand it over to Tau. So here's our roll for seize the initiative.
Yeah!
Nah, damn it. God damn it. Alright, so we're going to jump into Tau turn 1, and we'll get back to you in a second.
I'm excited. Yo, okay, that's the objective card I pulled for turn 1 of Tau. Moving across the board, this is what it looks like after the top of turn, or bottom of turn 1, sorry. So the Devilfish moved up and shot into the Cultist, killed a couple. The Riptide moved up, failed its Nova Reactor, lost a wound, and then I think killed like 1 Cultist. This Riptide shot into the Cultist, killed like another 1 or 2. The Stealth Suits here also fired onto there and finished them off down to 2. We killed the Champion, so we got the Assassinate objective off that, which is awesome. Commander here moved up, shot Markerlights at them to help them out, and then shot his missiles and did dick all, basically. This blob did nothing.
They tried.
These guys here shot at his Lord of Skulls and did nothing. He, Long Strike, shot at that as well, did like 1 hull point, lame. This guy here, like, he looks cool, let's have a quick look at him. Yeah, badass. But he actually didn't do that much. I think he did like maybe 2 hull points off him.
Yeah.
This guy here put marker lights on him as well. This guy here got his Nova Reactor off, put all 4 pipe plates onto him. Did quite well, actually. How many?
Yeah, he was the one that took most of the hull points off.
How many points was it? Like, 'cause
well, he had 9 at the start, so he's lost 5 through the course of this game.
Yeah.
I think he lost 2 to that guy.
And then like 3 from this dude. Yeah.
The rest of that guy.
But he also hit the Mauler Fiend, and I think put like a hull point on that. Killed 2 cultists as well, so woohoo! But not enough. He did, I think, nothing. So that was awesome. So he's just going to probably die next turn. But yeah, that's pretty much how it looks. The top of turn 1 for Tau. So yay for Tau.
Alrighty, that's the end of the Khorne Daemonkin's first turn. It was actually a very, very eventful turn for me. I'm really happy with the way that worked out. Basically, I had my line set up along here, so all I did was move the first Bloodthirster up to engage a Riptide up there. Then the Lord of Skulls and one of the Mauler Fiends moved up to engage the second Riptide. And the second Mauler Fiend moved over here to engage some Stealth Suits. In the shooting phase, the Lord of Skulls fired his Skull Hurler, which is the Apocalyptic Mega Blast, into this whole pile of guys here. And I was really excited, thinking the fucking idiot's bunched his stuff up, and I'm going to place this fucking pie plate over the top. I was really excited, and I only managed to kill, what, 2...
It's like 3...
This is what I killed here. So I killed 2... the Stealth Suits were killed from a Mauler Fiend, so all I killed was 2 Gun Drones, 2 Pathfinders, and 3 Fire Warriors.
Yeah!
With a fucking giant blast that causes him to reroll saves and freaking everything, and yeah. That was really disappointing, but the rest of the turn worked out really, really well. I got first blood by killing 2 of his Riptides.
Favorite one.
I killed his favourite model. We should probably get a good close-up of this guy, because we're not going to see him for the rest of the game, and he is pretty sexy, so...
I hate you so much. I really don't like
As soon as he told me this was his favourite model, I was like, oh, well, I know what I'm going after then.
So, that's what happens if you play with Dean.
Yeah, that's what's up. So yeah, that's the end of my first turn. But I'm a little nervous now because it's about to jump into his second turn, and I know he's got a lot of shit in reserves, and I've got some pretty exposed rear armour over here with a nice open area for him to drop in, so we'll see how that turns out for me. But yeah, so we'll jump into the Tau turn 2, and we'll get back to you in a second. Sorry guys, we forgot to mention in that last video, I got Secure Objective 4 was the objective that I drew at the start of my turn, and that happened to be the objective here that my cultists hold. So I managed to score that victory point, so that puts us on 1 victory point each, and I also got first blood. And so yeah, that puts me in the lead for now, and we'll see what he can do in his turn 2.
Okay, so it is top of turn 2, so end of Tau turn 2. Got Secure Objective 4 and Psychological Warfare. I got Psychological Warfare. I made the cultists at the end of that table there on Objective 4 run off. So they were shot down by one of those groups of suits in there. Can't remember which one, but they did it. Yay them.
Ghost cannons.
I guess the thing I really need to fucking make note of in this turn is that I put 3 fusion blasters like 6 inches away from the rear of that and rolled triple ones to hit. So, like, really, the fucking dice gods are not happy with me this evening.
You put, 3 marker lights on him, so you were hitting on 2+.
Yeah, re-rolling.
And you managed to roll 3 ones for your shooting.
That was fucked. It was not cool. So, yeah. He still has like 2 hull points on that, which means he's probably got half a bajillion attacks for the next turn, which is awesome. Everything else kind of like tried to shoot at that to take it down, because really I need to get rid of it, because when that flame template happens, these guys are bye-bye. So really, yeah, the only thing that happened was those dudes killed some cultists. I put a couple of wounds on that dude there. I think he's down to like 3, so yeah, so 2 wounds off him. But yeah, not looking good for the Tau guys. Yeah, it's not good.
Alrighty, so that's the end of Daemonkin turn 2. For objectives this turn, I got Unfettered Butchery, which is as long as I score 1 victory point at the end of my turn if I completely destroy an enemy unit during the assault phase. And I got Secure Objective 1. And I managed to get both of those because I got Secure Objective 1 with my Mauler Fiend here, and I killed tons of shit in the assault phase. So that's both of those objectives completed. As for movement, I rolled my reserves. I got both my Helldrakes on. He managed to blow one up with Interceptor, but the second one came on and did a little bit of damage with its Bale Flamer. And then I got my Bloodied Horde on, which is only 1 dice roll for the entire formation, which is 8 units of Bloodletters, 2 Skull Cannons, and 2 units of Blood Crushers. So they all dropped on here, and because every single unit's been upgraded with a Banner of Blood, the first one drops in, and then the rest of them, as long as they deep strike within 6 inches of another one that has a banner, they don't scatter. So you sort of conga line them, and I was able to get all of them in with minimal scattering. So that was the reserves. Then went into shooting phase. The Lord of Skulls spun around and fired on the battle suits that had the fusion blasters with his flamer, and took them out because the last thing I wanted was him to fusion blast that Lord of Skulls.
Probably the raw ones anyway.
And he also fired his apocalyptic mega blast into the big blob of guys here. Actually did a lot more damage in that turn than before.
So that's the first one.
That's the first round of shooting. He killed those guys there, and then the second round he killed all of that. So much more successful. What else happened? And then so Morphine stayed still because he was on the objective I needed. Helldrake came in, reserves came in. Then we went into assault phase. Bloodthirster came up here and took a second not Wraith Knight, fucking Riptide.
That one.
Took out a second Riptide. So that's 2 Riptides taken out by 1 Bloodthirster. Then this second Bloodthirster swooped down and took out a unit of Crisis suits. And yeah, that's it for turn 2 Daemonkin. So as for the Blood Tithe, I had 5 Blood Tithe points at the start of this turn. I've decided to expend the Blood Tithe to get Feel No Pain on all of my army, so that when he opens up into me with shooting in his turn, I will hopefully not suffer too many casualties. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. I'm going to pass it over to Sean, and he's going to get into the Tau turn 3, and we'll see if he can turn this battle around.
Got secure objective 6 and secure objective 4 for top of turn 3. Number 4's over there, near where the Bloodthirster is and the ruler. Nowhere near that. Number 6, much to my opponent's dismay, is right in the middle of all my shit, so I got 2 points off that. Woohoo! Looking at the board, you'll notice there is no Lord of Skulls. So I finally did it, turn 3. Fuck yeah, it's dead. The other highlights from our turn was that the Morphine is now mobilized, so it is being shot at. I think I shot it with like Riptides and a few other bits and pieces, but yeah, it's not going anywhere now. We cleared out a lot of the bloodletters that are around this blob here, so with the Ethereal and Fireblade with the extra shots from them, managed to kill a lot of those guys. Left that Bloodthirster alone, took a wound off that one with, I believe it was those Crisis suits there. These guys up the top here won't die. Shot quite a bit at them, and they're gone to ground, 2 up, cover save. There's not much I can do about that. But yeah, that's pretty much where it is. We're a little less fucked, but still relatively fucked overall. So yeah, see you guys next time.
It's a gentle fuck.
Yeah, fuck. Dean doesn't do gentle fucks. Alright, see you next.
Alrighty guys, so that's the bottom of turn 3, so Chaos turn 3. Alright, so what did we have? We had a couple of units came back in from ongoing reserves, so they came in. We had an assault that happened down here where I wiped out all of his drones and reduced him to a single wound with the blood crushes there. Then we had some serious Overwatch hurt from the Tau, as you'd expect. But I had all the bloodletters charge in on this bubble-wrapped tank here in the middle. We had, over here, we've got a bit of a combat going on over here with some bloodletters charged into some Crisis suits. The skull cannons over there fired into the fire warriors down there and nearly wiped out the unit.
Alright, roll a fucking leadership on that.
Oh yeah, we're going to do a leadership test on that too. We'll do that in a sec. And then over here we had Bloodthirster charged into some Crisis suits and killed off a few drones. These Blood Crushers charged into the Riptide, and that was I did a wound, he did a wound, so it was a tied combat. And I think that's about it. So far, in Blood Tithe for this turn, what I did is I gave my entire army +1 attack, which really helped out in a couple of the combats, managed to kill a couple of extra people, so it was definitely worthwhile. I was thinking about summoning some extra units, but it wasn't really worth it. As for objectives, I drew Assassinate, score 1 victory point if I take out a character. Completely destroy an enemy during my turn, and behind enemy lines, which I managed to achieve all 3 of those objectives. So that now puts me on 8. because I killed his ethereal, which gives me an extra victory point as well. So I'm now sitting on 8 victory points.
I think I have 5.
And I think, we think Tao's got 5, so it's looking pretty one-sided at the moment.
What do you mean at the moment? The whole game?
The other thing worth mentioning is I've got some really, really good rolls with my Bloodied Horde, which is the units that come back on a 4+ when they're destroyed. Pretty much every single unit that he's destroyed has come straight back in ongoing reserves. So it's getting really frustrating for my opponent because it seems like everything he kills he's just wasting his firepower on it. So it's definitely a very powerful formation, that one. But so we'll jump into Tau turn 4 and let's see what he can do.
Okay, guys, it is the top of turn 4, and I drew Objective 4, Blood and Guts, Objective 6, and Harness the Warp. Look, I could probably get like 2 out of the 4 of those, but considering I'm behind about I think it's like 6 points so far, and given that Dean still has the majority of his shit coming in from ongoing reserves, because I just can't seem to make it stay dead, I'm going to call it. Dean reckons it's coward, but I think it's like 12:30, and I still want to get another game in that I could possibly win, so...
You are surrendering because you are a coward.
No, I'm surrendering because that's a ridiculous army. Anyway, it's a good game. Appreciate it. I'm going to do a left-handed handshake. Let's do that. Yeah, left-handed because it doesn't mean shit. Nah, it was good. Thanks, man. Yeah, Dean, do you want to do your thing where you talk to it?
You know I do.
You want to do it in the camera so everyone can see your beautiful face?
I wouldn't call it beautiful, but I guess so. Basically, I would have liked to have gone a couple more turns, but I mean, I understand the Tau player's perspective, because they fucking flipping me off through the camera. But basically, I can see his point. He's severely outnumbered, and being a shooting army, his army obviously is going to benefit from the first couple of turns of the game. During the end, whenever all of his shit's locked in combat, he really doesn't stand much of a chance.
Look, I think, honestly, it was that, was it Skull, Lord of Skulls? That did it, really. Because, I burnt all of my firepower on it, for, 2.5 turns, pretty much, and only just managed to kill it at the end of my second turn. If you think about it, all that firepower wasted on that, and then you've still got, bloodthirsters and shit flying around that haven't even been touched. That's...
Yeah, well, it's a catch-22, because, part of you wants to go, well, maybe next time I'll ignore the Lord of Skulls, but you can't. If you ignore it, it'll fucking rape you.
And even if you don't ignore it, it still rapes you a little bit, so...
Yeah, so it's one of those things where it's like, okay, you got to dedicate your firepower and take it out early, but at the same time, you don't want to waste all of your firepower on that one unit, so you really need something specialist, something that can take it out. You need D-strength weapons, or you need a shit ton of melter, or something like that.
Or just not to roll triple ones, 3 times in a row.
That's probably helpful.
Hey, alright, we should do this. This is a good point. Who was your fucking star of the match? Who was the best dude?
My MVP?
Yeah.
Ooh, tricky, because both of my Insensate Rage Bloodthirsters did really well. Both of them killed 2 Riptides, which I was really happy with. I was expecting them to get
in close combat.
Yeah, I was expecting them to get shot down early, but luckily you focus fired on something that you couldn't really kill, so they were able to run around and kill things. So that, for me, they did the most damage, but you can't go past the Lord of Skulls. He took out a lot of guys, and he also took a ridiculous amount of punishment before you could take him down. So I think I would have to give it to the Lord of Skulls.
Yeah, I'd agree there.
What about you? What's your MVP?
I'm not going to give an MVP. I'm going to give, a fucking...
Give it LPV.
Yeah, the worst player.
Fucking,
This dude
did
nothing. Long
yeah.
strike. Oh my god, that's 200 points of I think it did maybe 2 whole points. The whole 4 turns that we played. That was absolutely shit. I don't know. Also, my new fucking Riptide, the Yavara whiffed pretty badly. So there.
He could have done alright had I not killed him so early. But
is what it is.
It is what it is.
Good game.
It was definitely a very good game. A very one-sided game, unfortunately. But we'll see if you can turn it around in the next 2,000-point game.
Yes. I think that's perfect.
Alright, guys. So this is the conclusion of our first battle report, and we'll be uploading another one shortly.
Follow us on YouTube. Like us on Facebook. Follow us on Dakar. Thanks for watching.